Yahoo Barbecue! Alright, so the point of this video basically is whether you're experienced at barbecue, that's cool. You might see something in here you like. I guarantee you're going to like my cornbread. But if you're new to barbecue and smoking, this is something that's going to help you get started. And like I said, even if you've been doing smoking and barbecuing for a while, I guarantee you there's something in this video that's going to make you say, wait till you see the end too. That's where you're going to go, for real. Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome back to the Ninja Galley. I'm going to make a barbecue meal right now, and I'm going to bring you with me. Check it out, show you how I do it. If you've never done this before, maybe this will help you, inspire you to try to do it. I'm going to show you how I make a full meal, barbecue meal with ribs, chicken, hot links, honeycomb bread, cucumber salad, and beans. And I got everything pretty much laid out, and we're going to jump right into it. Let's start with the meats. Ribs! For your pleasure. Alright, so first I rinsed it off, and now I'm just making sure it's nice and dry. And I'm going to start on the back side, so that way when I flip it, if something falls off, I don't care. I want the best seasoning on the top. First thing, my favorite olive oil. And I'm just going to rub some on here. Alright, so I'm going to put some olive oil on this top side and rub it in and put it on there so it's kind of thickened, so you got something to stick to. I'm going to make a rub, I decided. I sprinkled the other side, but I'm going to go ahead and make a rub to put on this side so everything's kind of well mixed in together. So this is new for me too, because I've never made a rub before. So I'm just going to, I usually just sprinkle everything on, but I really want everything to be mixed in together and rubbed across even. So this is going to be my first time making a rub. Check it out. And I'm just going freestyle on this too, because I didn't look up any recipes for rubs either. I normally don't cook with sugar. I think putting sugar in food is generally a no-no unless it's a baked good. I generally avoid sugar, but I'm going to put about 1/8 of a cup of brown sugar in here. And then I'm going to put about 1/8 of a cup of onion powder. Maybe a little less. That's plenty. That's probably more like a 1/16. I mean, if you can see in there, it's just a little in there. I will put more garlic than onion powder. Probably at least half or a quarter, an eighth. So this is a 1/4 cup spoon, so I'm putting half of that. I'm gonna go a little more than that. I like garlic. So about half. Then for paprika, again, don't want to go too crazy on that. About 1/8. I'm going to grab the camera and show you what's in the bowl right now so you have an idea what it's looking like, and then we'll put some more stuff in there. So there's the garlic powder, paprika, onion powder, and sugars in the middle. Alright, so now I'm just going to grind some pepper in there. I'm not going to put a ton of pepper on it. Alright, now you see how much black pepper I put on there. I'm going to put some cayenne pepper in there, and I'm not going to go crazy on this either. And I'm just going to basically put that much off the end of the spoon. Bam. I like to put a little basil on just about everything. Maybe like 1/4 of a teaspoon. A little bit of oregano. And a little bit of parsley. So that's what we got in the bowl, and I'm just going to mix it all together. And it looks like that. Yeah, it looks like that's plenty. And just rub it around, pat it in. And because I like garlic, I'm just going to go ahead and top it off with a little bit more garlic. And I'll put a little more pepper on top. Alright, so this is what it looks like now with all the seasoning on it. So if you're wondering why I didn't use salt in the rub on the baby back ribs, the reason is I generally don't use salt on pork because pork is already salty. So, alright, let's go light a fire. Whenever I light a barbecue, I use gasoline because it's cheaper than charcoal lighter fluid and it works better. Give it a little mix around, mix around. We're going to fire up these coals. Make sure you put your gasoline tank far away before you light it. And then we're going to get these coals ready and put them in the smoker. Now remember, only you can prevent burnt barbecue. While that's getting ready, we'll put some wood in the smoke box. Lump coal. Put some lump coal in there. So this is my Oklahoma Joe's smoker that I got from Lowe's a couple years ago. It's got a thermometer on it, smokestack, smoke box, and that's how much lump coal I start out with. And then I'm gonna take a little bit of mesquite charcoal. I'll put a little bit of mesquite charcoal in there, not much. That much mesquite charcoal in there with it. When the coals are hot, I'll throw the charcoal in there and we'll get this thing going. The majority of the gas is burned off. We still got some flames going there. So I'm gonna throw the grill and the racks on there to get them hot and so I can clean them off. You see those black spots? You see those black spots? That's not ready. That's not ready yet. It's almost ready. Alright, so I'm waiting for that charcoal to get ready. It's almost ready. I'm going to give you a couple of tips that you should know for smoking and barbecuing. First thing, if those coals are not turned completely gray and you see somebody trying to slap some meat on there, do yourself a favor, grab a spatula if you have to, and slap them. It's not all the way gray yet is because it hasn't burned off all the fuel, or at least you want to make sure it burned off all the fuel. So wait till those charcoal briquettes are completely gray all the way around, all of them. Then you don't have to worry about getting the flavor of fuel in your food. And the other thing, and I learned this the hard way, because when I got my first smoker probably, I'd say 20 years ago at least, I thought it was all about smoke and wood. It's not. It's not. You will make the most pungent stuff that will make your tongue turn numb, and nobody's going to eat it. It's going to suck. It's not about the wood. It's about controlling the temperature. What you want to do is control an even, steady temperature, a low temperature, and a little bit of wood. It doesn't take a lot to put that flavor on there. It's all about heat control and a little bit of wood. Preferably apple wood, almond wood, cherry wood. But there's other woods that you can use depending on what you're cooking. But my first go-tos is apple wood, almond, and sometimes cherry, and that's about all I use. All right. Coals are gray and ready. You might be able to tell that I've done that once or twice. So what's going on in the box is we've got nice, hot, evenly cooked gray coals dumped over that smoking wood. So now we close the lid on this. And now I'm gonna leave that open just for about a minute or so to let the heat from the coals start biting into that wood. And once it starts biting into that wood, I'm gonna shut this lid right here. And I'm gonna open this, I'm gonna crack this just a little bit. All right, we're already coming up to about 180. I'm gonna take a look at the coals. There's some good heat coming out of there. I can hear the wood starting to crackle. I'm gonna go ahead and just crack this vent a little bit, and I'm not gonna use this. Usually when I use this, if I use this, I'll take this and let me see if I can do this with one hand. And I'll stick this in there like that, or I stick something in there like that. So see how it's vented? But I'm not gonna do that. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this latch right here, and I'm just gonna slide it up, and I'm gonna barely pop that thing open like this. All right, we've been holding steady at about 215 for a little while, so it'll come down from there. I'm gonna go ahead and get started. I got the ribs out here. I'm gonna throw them on the grill. I wanna put the ribs on the grill furthest away back from the heat, down the middle. I'm gonna go ahead and get some of this and just go ahead and put it back up on here. I'll close this. I got some of this cherry wood here. I'm gonna show you how much I put, because this is where a lot of people mess up. I'm gonna put like that much at a time, and not very often. That'll do it. Alright, so now I'm gonna get some chicken ready, and the first thing I'm gonna do is snap that joint a little bit. I'm gonna take my knife and just cut around where the drum meets the thigh. And now I'm just going to put a little Tony seasoning on there and some garlic powder, and that's probably going to be it, because we'll smoke it up a little bit, and then after that we'll slap it on the barbecue to finish it, to make that skin nice and crispy. Garlic powder and Tony seasoning on the chicken. Holding just a little barely over 200 right now. That's good. Alright, so we're holding about 180 right now, which is perfect. Alright, it's time to start prepping vegetables and get ready. Let's make a salad. Let me show you the ingredients. Celery, cucumber, red bell pepper, red onion, tomatoes. And then we're going to season it with the red wine vinegar, the garlic olive oil, a little garlic powder, some salt, and a little bit of lime. That's going to be delicious. Kind of the base of this recipe is the cucumber, so we'll slice the cucumber first, and then we'll determine how much of the other ingredients based on how much cucumber there is. Fillet the seeds out of the cucumber like that. Cut them into small cubes. Remove the butt. And just sharpen this knife. Gut it. Gut it. So there it is, the cucumber, celery, tomato, and onion chopped together. Now we're going to dress it up. Go ahead and just put a little bit of lime in there. This is just a little. That's good. Now, red wine vinegar. Actually, oil. Garlic oil first. Alright, then you mix it around, mix it around. And then red wine vinegar. Okay. And salt. And garlic powder, and of course one of my favorites, basil, and I'll put a dash of oregano on there. Add a little more. That ought to do it. Now we just mix it around, mix it around. Taste. Delicious. Alright, we're back out at the smoker. We're holding about 160, so it's going real slow. Let's take a look at what the meat is looking like in there. Not much change in color yet. It's going real slow. Let's take a look at the smoke box, the heat box. I think what I'm going to do is I want to bring the temperature up a little bit. So I'm going to grab me a few coals, and then I'm going to go like this. Just put a few of them in there. Spread them around, maybe a few more. I want to bring the heat up a little bit because I don't want to be out here all damn night. And I'll put some towards the back too, so those ones will come up to heat. Most of the heat you can see is there's more heat in the front than the back. So put a few coals back there, and as you can see, it's already starting to go. We'll close this down. Bam. Preheat the oven to 325. So we got the Alber's yellow cornmeal, and I don't follow any of the other directions that's on this box. I go right here to the sweet corn muffins. So it says 1.5 cups of all-purpose flour and half a cup of cone meal, but I'm gonna go 1.25 cups of cone meal and 3/4 cups of flour, because what is cone bread without cone meal? It also calls for 1/3 cup of vegetable oil. We ain't doing that. Butter makes it better. We're going to use 1/3 cup of butter. When it comes to butter, do not mess around. Get the challenge butter. It's the best. That's 1.25 cups of cone meal in the bowl. That's 3/4 cups of flour in the bowl. 1 tablespoon or 2 teaspoons in the bowl. Half a teaspoon of salt. And don't overdo it, because salty cornbread sucks. It says 2/3 of a cup of granulated sugar, but I'm going to reduce that. I'm going to go somewhere between half a cup and 2/3 of a cup of granulated sugar. You know why? Because I'm going to add honey. Honeycomb bread. That's between half a cup and 2/3 of a cup going in the bowl. Because why? We got honey. Bam! Instead of using 1/3 of a cup of vegetable oil, I use 1/3 of a cup of butter. And I'll mark it right there, and then I'm going to cut it. Let's cut it. Oh, damn, that felt good. Alright, so now what you do is you take the 1/3 and you cut it into slices. So you can put it in a cup and warm it up either on low heat on a burner or very carefully in the microwave. Do not boil your butter, ever. That is how you make trans fats. Because when you boil your butter, it chemically changes it at a molecular level. So I take my butter, I cut it into slices so it heats up a little faster. I put it in here, and now I'm going to put it on the burner. Alright, so the butter's on the burner on low, and what you do is you just leave it sitting there and keep an eye on it and stir it once in a while until it becomes fluid or really soft. 1 1/4 cups of the finest milk. Milk. Then butter, warmed up butter, melted butter. Then eggs. And then what we do is we beat the eggs right here. Beat them up a little bit before we blend everything. Honey goes in there next. And I don't know, I don't measure, I just go like this, like a few circles. That should do it. And mix it around, mix it around. Next you get your iron skillet and your mo better butter. And you cake it up with butter. Make sure you got a nice thick coat of butter all over the corners and the edges and everything. Now you take your cornbread batter and put it in the skillet like this. Now in the oven, 325. Leave it in the oven at 325 at about 12 minutes, check it, and then what I like to do is hit the broiler, turn the top burner on, put some heat on top to make the top crisp up a little bit, but very shortly because you can burn it. It'll happen fast too, so don't leave that broiler on. Just hit the broiler for a little while, maybe a minute, turn it back off, and then I'll show you what we do after that too, because there's another step. When I pull it out of the oven, these are the hot links you want to get. And I suggest you buy them at Costco because you get a good deal on them there. Let's put these on the grill. Alright, we're holding just under 200 degrees right now. I'm going to go ahead and put these hot links in here. You see that chicken is taking on some color now. Alright, let's see how this cornbread is doing. We got some cornbread up in here. What we're about to do, we're about to lace it up with a little bit of honey. Honey, I'm all about that honey, honey. Honey, I'm all about that honey. And then we'll slap that back up in there. Now it's been about a minute and a half. I'm going to hit it with the broiler, the top burner, for about 20 seconds. I'll put it back on the bottom burner. Now I'm going to pull it out. And then I'm going to hit it with that butter. Give it a little smear, light. You gotta hold it light because you could poke through it, dude. The surface is not done yet. But you give it that little butter smear. The edges are a little more firm, but the middle is a little soft, so be careful you don't poke a hole in it. And then give it a little twinkle dinkle. What I like to call a little twinkle dinkle. Real light, just a little twinkle dinkle of salt. And then slap it back up in the oven. That's honeycomb bread. Put it back on broil for like another 30 seconds just to crisp the top. Hey, yo, check this out. Oh yeah, it's ready. It's ready. That's some honeycomb bread. That's some authentic Real Ninja honeycomb bread right there. Let's go fire up the barbecue. Woo! Chicken time! I'm not making homemade beans, but I'm making beans. Can I get a Give me a Them's are some beans. Woo! We're about to put chicken on the grill for real. And once again, wait till those coals are totally gray. See that? They need a little time. We got a little more color on the meat. Let me see. Let me see. Let me see. Let me see. Those coals in the center have no gas on them. Those are new coals, so don't worry about that. The rest of the coals are fine. But we'll take care of that. We're going to burn us some chicken skin. Because chicken skin must be burnt a little bit at least. We're going to do it right here. Alright, let's calm it down a little bit. That's a little bit wild. Alright, it's time for my favorite barbecue sauce. It's basically the same recipe as Bullseye, except for it uses sugar instead of high fructose corn syrup. Alright, the ribs are out the smoker. Let's put some barbecue sauce on the bottom. Alright, so we got some super duper smoked barbecued ribs, some smoked barbecue chicken, some smoked barbecue hot links. We got some honeycomb bread, as you can see I could not resist. And we got beans and a fresh zesty cucumber salad. Very nice. That was about 5.5 hours of work. I'm gonna eat my salad, put all this food away, and I'll have like a real plate tomorrow because that's enough for me. Good morning, everybody. I'm back. Last night after barbecuing and snacking, I was tired and full, so I didn't plate the food. So I'm gonna go ahead and plate this so you can see what it all looks like. So I'm going to warm up some barbecue. I got the convection oven set to 240. And I'm going to cut a couple ribs off, grab a piece of chicken and half a hot link, and set up a plate so you can see how everything looks and how it all comes together. So here it is, everybody. Hot link, ribs, chicken, beans, and the salad. Would you eat that? Would you eat that one? Again, a little smoke, but it's just there in the background. It's not overwhelming. Gotta have lots of napkins or a sink nearby when you're eating this stuff. Thanks for watching, everybody. I hope you enjoyed the meal. If you like this video, please like, subscribe, share, and all that good stuff. And until next time, stay fat, my friends. I'm out.